My bad, y'all. I forgot to turn my mic on. What's up, Trilogy? Yeah, I think this is my first time seeing you. You can hear me now, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I had to turn the mic on. But yeah, Trilogy, what's up? I think this is my first time seeing you in the live. I don't know what they might. Honestly, I don't know what he was on last night. Hold up, Demarcus. You know what's crazy, bro? I'm tripping. I forgot that it come out today. Came out today. I gotta watch it when I get out here. I'm gonna watch it. I was thinking it came out today, like at 9 o'clock. Well, 12 today. Damn, I'm out here tripping. Let's see what time it. We'll give it 30 more seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and start. Damn. Guess I'll watch it, today. Like when I get off here and then who knows? Maybe I'll put a little small session for it, possibly in the lab tomorrow today. Because if I would have known that it was, if I actually would have known that it was coming at midnight, today, I would have actually started the live probably right after the episode, kind of like how I did Power. Now, at first, I'm not gonna really waste too much time with that. I got what Michael Lee was saying at first, but he should have let that shit go. Like, bro, we adults. We're not little kids. Yeah, DeMar, it resonated in my head just then. I was like, that's why he was saying what he said. I didn't get it at first then. I thought you were just talking about, but I remember you saying Joseph Sakura's part was fire, and I thought you was talking about just mid off that one clip. She was talking about damn. Oh. But anyways, like usual, 4 topics. We got the follow up, Cameron and Dame Dash, because as you know, Dame Dash was saying that he was the chairman of Revolt, which surveys say that's a lie. They was able to find out that he was absolutely capping. And Cameron basically came out and they gave his response of what was going on with that. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit next. That I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all are familiar with. President Trump is bringing in the National Guard to Memphis, Tennessee, my hometown city. And they're going to be giving a little bit more details of how some of the stuff is going to be ran. So we're going to discuss that. And then Jimmy Kimmel from the popular, from his popular show is being canceled right now because of his remarks, his segment that he had about, Trump with the Charlie Kirk situation. So folks is getting fired left and right about this Charlie Kirk stuff. I think people might want to just leave this shit alone if you're gonna try to go too deep, because they ain't playing. They say you got freedom of speech until you ain't got it. So it's kind of crazy how they doing this. And lastly, I think DeMarcus, you mentioned this yesterday morning. I so happened to see that little segment from the Breakfast Club. They were discussing it with Adrian Broner when he was flirting with the girl, and the nigga was thirsty as hell on that bitch for real. So I went ahead and grabbed that and also implied that to the morning show. So that's our 4 topics that we got going on. Appreciate the super chat. According to on my end, it says 3 away. But like I said, I don't know. YouTube been doing some really weird shit that I can't really tell. What's up, Talia? I forgot to address you when you came in. I thought that it automatically let you come back after the 30-minute timeout, or however long it be. I don't think you have to manually give them permission. But anyways, on to this topic, Cameron. What is this? Like I said, Cameron basically so happened to reach out because it seems like Cameron and Dame Dash are in it. Even though Dame Dash said he liked Cameron. I'm saying he's a good dude. You know how he said yesterday, saying that he's not gonna fire him. He gonna let him stay. Nigga, you ain't gonna fire him because he your boss. That's why he's mad, nigga. He over there trying to make it seem like he just being the bigger man and letting him stay. Nah, nigga. If you had the power, you was gonna fire that nigga. But unfortunately, it's the opposite. It's the other way around, and he can't stand it. And I get it, bro. It do suck, but come on. You can't try to lie to the world like that and thinking that people ain't gonna just research it and find out that you capping. But anyways, let me go ahead and share what Cameron had to say. He actually had more than this to say, but I left them parts out. But the shit was
giving turkey. Everybody,
he said he was lying through his gums, bro. That shit is crazy.
Okay, right? Especially, and Cam has every right to, because I just don't know why why Dame would go to that extreme.
Yeah.
Just to come off as Cam's boss, like, as if that wouldn't be fact checked in real time.
Mm-hmm.
That was my biggest part, and this is what I said yesterday, the show yesterday. This nigga is acting like they're not gonna fact check this. And like I said, it'd have been different if it was a smaller show. Let's just say I was interviewing Dame Dash. Even though, maybe you could have got away with it if you was on my show or something like that. Maybe I wouldn't have fact checked you. Or let's say, even if I did fact check it, my channel isn't that big, so a bunch of people wouldn't find out that you was lying. But nigga, the Breakfast Club, and then Charlamagne, one of the most pettiest niggas next to 50 Cent, you gonna try to lie to them folks' face like that? Like that day, that hour down there, they reached out to fact check this shit and found out she was lying. Like, nigga, why? Yeah, as y'all can see, this nigga Dame Dash was lying, and Cameron cooked his ass. Actually, Cameron is on the show twice today for cooking twice. But what's good, Brazil? Dame spoke before ink was dry. Jay-Z blocked that deal. Now that's the nigga that's the real snake. That nigga Jay-Z. That's a real snake there, boy. I wouldn't want to do no business with that nigga. But New York City supposedly being the mecca of hip-hop, they all divided. Yeah, because it's too many snakes. Niggas always trying to get over on somebody, especially in the music industry. Like, entertainment, acting, we got it bad, bro. But, man, music, I don't know. Them niggas, they be getting their ass from this left and right. All they be giving them folks is fame. They don't be getting the money like that, but they'll give you the fame. Like, yeah, we'll give you these clothes to make it look like you rich. Give you this house, you know what I'm saying, this car, this chain to make it look like you rich. But in actuality, them niggas be broke, bro. They don't be having that much money. It be YouTubers with more money than me. Way more, actually. That's the crazy part. Dame must be stuck in the 90s. Everything can't be fact checked in a second. You know, they said something else that was funny too about the Dame said that made them think, you know, maybe he was unaware that they could fact check this shit that quick. And then he had the nerve yesterday when he was saying he's the chairman of Revolt. He was like, "You're not gonna congratulate me?" And DJ Envy was like, "We said congrats," but you could tell it wasn't a genuine congrats. That's why Dame said that. But I believe the congrats wasn't genuine because he knew you was capping, nigga. He like, nigga, you're not the chairman of Revolt. Stop lying, nigga. But we gonna find out if it's some truth to this. And then obviously they reached out and found out you was capping. Come on, DeMarcus, how you gonna ask that question? That's not even close, bro. Come on, bro. We all know 50 Cent is the petty king. This nigga, 50 Cent don't let nothing go. Like whatever law it was, or 40 laws of power, they say, you know, basically not show no mercy to your enemies. That nigga took that shit personally because he don't let nothing go. Like your beef could have been 20 years ago. He don't care. That nigga still gonna have his foot on your neck. So I honestly, I don't even think the other two niggas are close. And I'll give Charlemagne number 2 and Cameron to be 3rd. Not through the girls, right? It lied to you. Oh boy. Anyways, though, I thought that shit was pretty goddamn funny, so I had to go ahead and throw that up in there. Anybody last remark up in this one, but before I move on? I don't know, is he? Hold on. What's good, Dakari? Claudia Johnson's response to response to Dame. I'm not sure if I did. I'm trying to grab it real quick. I'm gonna throw it up in there real quick since you mentioned it. This is gonna be my first time seeing it though. I haven't seen this.
Dame Dash once again has my name in his mouth when he should be having Polident tight grip in his mouth, instead holding those cheap ass dentures in place instead of worrying about me. Why do you keep trying to bring me into your mess? You've been sued by everybody, you lost every single lawsuit, and you owe the government all this money, yet you keep trying to bring me into your bullshit. I have been quiet. On the set of Dear Frank, you were wildly inappropriate. You did shit on that set that should have shut it down, okay? Very inappropriate. The way you were carrying on with the women on set and what you did to me during the one scene was fucked up. I've not embarrassed you yet because everybody else has done that job for me, and including yourself. But if you want to keep running your mouth, then I'm going to tell my side. You was a fucking pervert on set. You were disgusting. The things you did with that porn tape and what you tried to do to get me ready for a scene with you while your shunt was showing out of your chest and you thought you was hot, you were not. You were a fat fucking mess. And yes, I understand you see me everywhere, so and you're nowhere except pretending to own ranches that you don't own and borrowing money from people. And you see people that are just flourishing without you, and like you do with Jay-Z, you're just sitting there jealous of everybody else, counting everybody else's money. So now you want to include me in your lawsuit. Nigga, bring it on. And my phone is blowing up with notifications that Dame Dash once again has my name.
Everybody going after this nigga. I am gonna say this, bro. It is such thing with these. When it comes to these industry people, bro, that they'll all attack you and stuff like that. When you're on the right side of what's right, and they on some bullshit, and they all on the same side as the people that's controlling shit, that'll make you look like you the bad guy. Like they really good at that shit. And to a degree, I think Dame Dash is a victim of that shit. Yeah, that's true. 50 Cent, that nigga stand on business for life. That nigga don't play. You fuck up one time with this nigga. I don't know if it's a way to recover. He said he did his own IMDb page. Branson crashing out at school. Yeah, it is what time we're at. Anyways, though, let's go ahead. I'm going to head to the next one. Dame Dash, I hope you can get it together, my boy. All right, next, Trump, National Guard. As we know, Trump is bringing in the National Guard to my hometown city of Memphis. A lot of folks in the city right now. It's crazy how Memphians are sticking together. Every time it's like a state trooper in a certain area on a certain exit, if we find out it's a base for the National Guard or something like that, like it's like we got social media pages and stuff where a lot of the people in the city are attached to. And it'd be like, hey, the National Guard at Lamar and Holmes over there at the fourth exit. You know, folks just telling everywhere that they post that. And you know, I'm with it with how people are sticking together like that, alerting people of what's going on. But regardless, the National Guard is here for I wonder how long they're gonna be here now. Because what if the YNs decide to be on their best behavior until they leave, and then they start their shit right back up? But at the same time, though, these YNs here, they a little bit different. They probably don't even know how to. They probably don't even know how to act right just long enough until they leave. Anyways, though, here's a little bit more information on what they got going on. And this was actually interesting because I've seen something like this before.
Those agencies. Within the memoranda, there are state and local agencies that could be called on to assist here in Memphis. Our team coverage continues with Action News 5's Griffin Demaray, who reached out to those agencies.
Within the memoranda, there are a bunch of different sections, and within those sections, there is a breakdown of how this will actually be enforced, and more importantly, who locally is going to help. The Memphis Safe Task Force section says that the task force may, to the extent permitted by law, request operational assistance from 18 different agencies. That includes everyone from the Memphis Police Department to the Shelby County Pretrial Services and even the Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission. The memoranda says if it's appropriate, those agencies can assist the task force. Now, we reached out to every single agency to see if they were contacted and what they knew. Not everyone got back to us, but a couple did. TBI Director David Roche responded saying that TBI was committed to doing their part to support any effort to improve public safety throughout our great state. The list also included a couple law enforcement agencies not in Tennessee, like the Mississippi State Police, who said with Memphis's close proximity to Memphis and DeSoto County, the Mississippi Department of Public Safety stands ready to assist whenever called upon in efforts to combat crime and keep.
That's one police department you don't want to fuck with. Mississippi, DeSoto County, don't fuck ugly as hell. I'm telling you right now, y'all. Those of y'all that don't know, that never stepped foot in Mississippi, don't fuck ugly as hell. You don't want to fuck with them.
Combat crime and keep our state and communities safe. Arkansas State Police said, quote, ASB is not sending personnel into Memphis. Our troops will continue proactively patrolling the counties in Arkansas that border Memphis and will stand ready to assist our Tennessee law enforcement partners with this operation and any other needs as they arise. MATA responded saying they had no comment at this time. The Shelby County Sheriff's Department said they will provide more insight later this week. We also reached out to the city of Memphis again. We've not heard from them since President Trump officially signed the memorandum. In Memphis, Griffin Demaray, Action News 5.
All right. So this is what I feel about them bringing in. It's crazy that Arkansas, because I don't know, for those of y'all that haven't been to Memphis before, give y'all a quick little insight. Memphis has this bridge that connects Arkansas, Mississippi, and Tennessee, right? So basically, you can come in on either side if they were to need some assistance. And it's crazy that they're doing all this just to stop Memphis. Memphis is ignorant here. I gotta say, folks is out of control here. These motherfuckers don't give a damn here. And I think the reason why they're taking the precautions that they're taking right now is because of July 11th, 2016. Now, this didn't make national news, and I think it didn't make national news like it should have because they didn't want to send that. It was a bad message to send to the country because they probably didn't want other cities to get this same idea. But on July 11th, 2016 is during the time period when police brutality and stuff, some stuff was happening. The Korean gang stuff was happening. The Sandra Bland, all that stuff was going on. A bunch of gang members were talking amongst each other, GDs, Vice Lords, Crips, and Bloods. All had a meeting online. Was like, look, let's everybody go downtown to Memphis and then, and unite and set it straight for these ugly niggas. Let them know, the police, you better not try that shit here. Or, we ain't gonna fuck around with y'all. So we literally assembled. It was thousands for sure. I can't give you an exact number on what it was, but it was absolutely thousands. It may have been anywhere between 1,500 and I would say maximum 3,000 people stormed that bridge that day. So it was like so many people that the Memphis Police Department was spooked. They didn't make no moves. They were just hoping and praying that we didn't make no moves on them because it was way too many. And not only, we outnumber them heavily. They know it's Memphis. They probably were armed as well. So it was going to be a bloody massacre if something was to pop out. So they were just very peaceful. They had a megaphone begging and pleading us to leave and asking, what is it that we wanted? I remember this shit like yesterday. And like I said, keep in mind, it's a bridge that connects Memphis, Arkansas, and Mississippi. We blocked off this whole bridge that nobody could come through. Could nobody go out of Memphis? Could nobody, at least from that side, you couldn't. You couldn't go out of Memphis. You couldn't come into Arkansas. And Arkansas couldn't come into Memphis. And you couldn't go into Mississippi from that side. We had that whole section blocked out. And I'm talking about it's FedEx trucks, Walmart trucks, all kinds of shit coming in to bring in goods. And we blocked it off. They couldn't do shit. They lost a lot of money that day. I know they did. And it got so bad because we was there for hours. It's not like we just showed up there for 30 minutes and left. We was there for hours, at least 6 hours. And it got so bad that they made a call down the street to both Arkansas and Mississippi. It was like they came in to try to assist, just like they're talking about doing with the National Guard. And I think the reason why they're talking about doing this with the National Guard right now is because they remember this shit. They be like, nah, we're gonna have to be way more strategic about this shit this time, since we know what them niggas are capable of. They can do that shit again. But if we can be ahead of this shit, we can actually do something. But yeah, them folks, that was a crazy day. And then you know what's crazy? Like I said, Memphis Police Department was pretty calm. Memphis Police Department wasn't really doing that. And surprisingly, Mississippi Police was also pretty calm. They didn't really do much. But Arkansas Police, them little crazy bastards, they was aggressive. They showed up with shields. They had big ass long sticks. And they was like, you could tell they was like itching to try to attack somebody. And the thing, what ended up happening is, like I told y'all, it was thousands of us at first, but like that probably was like around, let's say we probably went to that bridge maybe around 3 o'clock. I'm just giving estimates. I don't really remember the times like that. But let's just say it was 3 o'clock. And then at probably around like 8, that's when stuff started thinning out. People started leaving. And around 10-ish, 11-ish, that's when we got real thin. And it was only like maybe 60 of us left. And that's when Arkansas started trying to be stupid. They started trying to attack people, swinging them sticks and shit. I think a couple of people got arrested. Thank God I wasn't one of them. We went ahead and left. But yeah, that's what happened that day. Like I said, that's a true story. I believe that's the reason why they're taking the precaution to have all these other agencies to come in and assist once the National Guard comes in. Because I think they know Memphis might rebel. The internet and social media is the new age slang book from back in the day in high school. So yeah, Golson, you've been there before? Hey, I love Memphis, you know what I'm saying? We all love Memphis, but hey, I'm just being honest with you. The shit dangerous. There's some like niggas up in Memphis, no doubt. So, and then the thing is, it keeps getting worse every year. Like 2025 is a year where actually I think it's kind of down this year. The crime rate is down this year, as far as what I could see. It looked like it may be down like 20%, according to what it was around this time last year. But yeah, I'm gonna be here for like at least, let me see, this is the what's the date? Today's the 18th. I'm gonna be here for at least another month. So I definitely will be here when the National Guard actually arrives. So I'm gonna be closely monitoring it, letting y'all know how shit is going here. If they doing any bullshit, wrongfully attacking people, and I'm gonna pay attention to stories to see if anybody else is, saying they had any bad experiences, because the news be lying. What I want is the actual truth. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and head to the next one. Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel, as we know, a popular comedian show where he does a lot of segments where he trolls and basically be cooking a lot of people. And Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk just so happen to be his next victim. And apparently he is, I think they gave him just a suspension for what he did. But if you ask me, I'm going to go ahead and give my take on that. He shouldn't have been suspended for it. Because this is my thing. When you start trying to censor what comedians can say, bro, like, what world are we looking at now? Because comedians have always been the ones that have the right to basically be able to poke fun of pretty much any situation. I mean, I do think it's kind of a little different when it comes to maybe somebody's death because of what you might be doing to their close family members. But everything else, pretty much, I think it shouldn't be off limits. But I don't know. Y'all can for those of y'all who haven't seen it, I am going to share what he said and what he did on there. But y'all let me know. Do y'all feel like he should have been suspended for what he said?
Characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition over the weekend with the MAGA gang death.
So that's pretty much it. What he said that got him suspended. I don't know what that. I thought this shit was pretty damn funny. Even though everybody grieve differently, you know what I'm saying? Everybody don't grieve the same. But that shit was pretty damn funny. It was like, it was implied, making it seem like, Trump was taking it so hard. And that's right. When they asked him the question, he just brushed it off and then started talking about something else. But I'm going to say this. I think what Trump was doing there is, I don't know if I want to say that he just completely didn't give a damn and was just over it. It may have been that, he knows how people are, particularly what he would call the fake news. And they try to, provoke him and ask stupid, crazy questions to get some kind of arousal out of him. So he just kind of ignored it and then kept, continued to business because he was like, nah, we're glad you're not even about to get that out of me right now. So that could have been what it was, but either way, the way he put it out there, bro, that shit was funny to me. What are some of the reasons the crime is so bad? Jobs, maybe. You know what's crazy, bro? I can't really say it's the jobs. Because, Memphis is not nearly, I don't think Memphis, at least from my experience, I haven't tried to get a job since I've been out here. But from my experience and what my brother used to say when he was working here, it's not that the job market is bad. Niggas don't want to work. I don't know. The way stuff has been, folks they don't fell in love with fast money, and the law enforcement, I guess, is too loose, letting them get away with it. I guess because a lot of the folks been telling me a lot of the time when these folks commit the crime, they be getting right out. So why would they give it that? Because I mean, you got the headquarters of Nike here, you got the headquarters of FedEx, you got Amazon here. That's three major, companies that you should be able to work at. Then I mean, you can always like Uber and DoorDash and Instacart is way more open to here in Memphis because there's not as many people doing. Like in LA, it's harder because there's so many people there. So you're not going to get as many jobs and stuff doing things like DoorDash. Like actually DoorDash, you can't even. It's not even an opening in LA for it because it's too many of them. But I don't know. I can't 100% say if it's the job thing, but I'll give you one of them. I do think they don't have enough activities and events and stuff, things for the youth to do to stay out of trouble. Like in LA, it's a lot of things that you can go go and entertain yourself without getting yourself into stuff. So that could be one of the things. Like for instance, Memphis doesn't have basketball facilities where they can go and just hoop. Even though it do cause trouble, like when niggas get into it and want to fight and the fight end up becoming a shootout. But still, they don't have that like LA does. You also don't have areas in general just where you can go. I think it's more so for most of the stuff is for adults as far as what I can see. So you're not giving the youth much to do besides do crime. Cause I can't even think of no safe parks and shit like that for them niggas to go to. Yeah, you ain't lying, because there's a lot of niggas online that's going ham on that Charlie Kirk shit. You said they didn't censor Charlie Kirk, so it should be open season. Speak the way he did when he was alive. Keep the momentum going. Hey, like I said, I don't think he should have been censored, bro. Like, this is the thing. Like, they try to say this is America, home of the freedom of speech, but yet they only mean that when it comes to when you saying shit that they don't care about. But when you speaking on stuff that get out of their skin, then they want to try to censor you. But yeah, it's great. Like D's saying, they are going after YouTubers. But this is the thing. They're going after YouTubers that are saying certain stuff. It's not just, anybody that just speaking on the Charlie Kirk situation in general. It depends on what you're talking about. They demonetizing like a lot of people. Said they are going after YouTubers too. His sanity has to report to a congressional committee about what he says on his platform. Man, Boys and Girls Club, hell, man, it's a YMCA here that I can remember of, but it's not many of them, bro, and it's not like it is in other areas. Like, bro, I don't know. Like I said, the shit bad because I remember me growing up, bro. We had one gym that we could go to. And it was only open 2 days out of the week for 2 hours. So niggas get his little 2 hours in the hoop, and then we go back to going out looking for shit to get into. Like, we were so bored that one of the games, me personally, I didn't do it because I just didn't like that shit. I thought it was fucked up. But one of the things niggas used to do to entertain themselves was a game called Point 'em Out, Knock 'em Out. And basically the game is self-explanatory. group of niggas walk around. We look for somebody to knock out. Once that nigga get pointed out, he gets his ass knocked out. And you can not know the person. They just, for no reason, going to go whoop his ass. Fucked up, I know, but that is one of the things niggas used to do to entertain themselves. So I wonder how far. I'm gonna go ahead and close up this Jimmy Kimmel thing. What's basically gonna happen with him, and I'm pretty sure what's gonna. It's like they always do. They're gonna have him come out, apologize, make an open, some open remarks saying, I am so sorry for anybody in the Charlie Kirk family that I may have harmed and said something to. It was never my intentions to do so. There's no room for that kind of behavior in this country. This is America, and my thoughts and prayers are with him. He gonna say some kind of shit like this. I know the lingo so well now, bro. He gonna say something like that before he gets to come back, people. And once he do that, publicly apologize and get bitched publicly for saying something that he, that he really supposed to have the freedom and liberty to say. Once he do that, they're gonna let him come back. They'll go after Saturday Night Live next. Trump can't stand them. I don't know. I don't pay close attention to Saturday Night Live, but have they said something about the Charlie Kirk situation? And also, a lot of people are saying, they doing all that because, the Charlie Kirk is a cover-up. I keep telling you. And I'm going to go ahead and put this out here. Candace Owens better watch out. I know a lot of people aren't fans of her. And who knows, maybe I'll cover her tomorrow. But Candace Owens, when she's locked in, bro, she's locked in. And she believes that it was absolutely some foul play that was done with the Charlie Kirk situation. So she's been going all in. And she better make sure her security is tight. But the good thing about her is that she does all of her material inside of a studio. She doesn't do it in the open, and that exposes herself to be able to, be accessible to anybody that wants to, take a shot at her. Like they would have to infiltrate, get inside her building and do whatever it is they're trying to do. It's a little bit more challenging. But yeah, absolutely. I would imagine a lot of these people aren't happy with what she's doing right now too. So she better watch her back. They sent emails out at my job about being careful what you say and post it because of the effect of the job. Yeah. I've been hearing about folks talking about that. Like that's how bad it is. It's crazy. They did that here too. Just crazy until people caught on and hit back or worse. Which part are you referring to here? I actually like Candace Owens. I would love to see a debate with Candace Owens and Jasmine Crockett. Okay, so I actually like Candace Owens as well. I don't think that she's who they try to make her out to be. I know that's a controversial take. A lot of people tend to dislike her because they think she's a coon and all of that. But I don't really get into all of that stuff. How I look at it, it don't matter who you are. Everybody has good information if you're open to it. I think too many people are closed-minded that it could actually be some good, legitimate information that you might be interested in, but you close yourself off because you got it in your head that you just hate this individual. Candace Owens is one of the people that do that. But as far as this Candace Owens and Jasmine Crockett debate, I don't think it's going to be close. I think Candace Owens will absolutely obliviate Jasmine Crockett. So, Amanda Sellers might be more what Jasmine Crockett could handle. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and transition over to our last and final topic. And that is Adrian Bonner. This nigga stay clowning himself. For real. But as I'm sure DeMarcus knows, because he was telling me about this yesterday, Adrian Bonner was on Cameron's show the other day. This fool was constantly flirting with, I'm trying to remember whose girl it was, somebody's girl. And this nigga just didn't give a damn, kept on flirting with her, and they was like trying to warn him and shit. Oh, you talking about the point him out, knock him out? Gotcha. Damn, yeah, that shit crazy. But this nigga Adrian Bonner just be taking the mails, bro. He don't give a damn. I'm gonna go ahead and share what he had to say and what happened. This video is brought to you via Breakfast Club as well. They kind of had the I actually fuck with this man heavy for Cameron for how he handled this situation, because you know he stood up for his homie and stuff like that. He knew, like, bro, you being disrespectful, bro. We don't want you a couple times to stop doing the shit, and you're gonna keep doing it, and that's how I am. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing disrespectful stuff, especially in like a professional environment, you let them know politely the first time around, unless it's too bad early. But you kind of politely like, look, chill out, bro, chill out. Give them a couple warnings, and then if they keep doing it, all right, bro, you gotta get up out of here. Nah, and then Adrian was like, all right, I ain't gonna do it no more. He's like, nah, nigga, you had your chance. I told you. You wanted to keep doing it. I'm gonna pay you for your time, since you did take time out of your day to come do the interview, but you gotta get up out of here, man, nigga.
Problems with you. I'm gonna pay you.
Anyways, though, as you saw, the glad nigga kept on poking until Cameron had to say, all right, glad nigga, that's enough of that. We're gonna have to get on and get you up out of here. And you say, who's the biggest clown between him and Antonio Brown? I don't know, bro. You might have to go with Adrian. You might have to go with Adrian. Antonio be just saying some crazy shit out of nowhere. He just don't be giving a fuck. But at the same time, I think some of the shit he be saying be just truthful. So, people just don't like it. They be like, bro, why would you say that? Even though it do be the truth sometimes. Cam called him a drunk and a junkie. Damn, I ain't hear that part. Hold on. So Adrian be doing drugs or something? Even though he did sound like he may have been a little, he may have been a little turned up. When a twisted way, this is keeping Adrian Bonner. Yeah, of course. You know how these niggas are. Once they start to die down and they don't want to get out of the spotlight, they're trying to still be relevant. They go to bigger platforms like this, and put stunts up like this so that they can be relevant. So Cameron has a pretty good big platform. And then, Breakfast Club is a big platform. So the fact that both of them is covering it, now he's, trending in the news. Then even on the smaller side, like smaller channels like mine, we're talking about it. I mean, he knew exactly what he was doing. Twisted Wave. You know. But I mean, pretty much, if we ain't got much left to go, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. We're gonna end it at look like just at an hour today this morning. I'm about to finish some editing, put some of these videos out, catch up on Reasonable Doubt, so that I can maybe do a video or so of that. I really still, like I said, I still need to put out something for Beauty and Black too, to be honest. God damn. I feel like it ain't even enough time in the day for all this shit. But we ain't got no more March, then I'm gonna go ahead and just close this thing out. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna catch y'all, a lot of y'all later on tonight, and try to have some topics, good topic. You said we got to talk about Reasonable Doubt. Yeah, we'll do that. But like I said, my only thing with Reasonable Doubt is, I don't think that many people watch it, but we're gonna try to do what we can. All right, thank you guys. Y'all have a good day too.